Ravanna was once a proud land, home to honorable warriors, brilliant scholars, and just rulers. But decades of war have left the kingdom depleted and vulnerable, ripe for the picking for those ambitious enough to seize it. This was before the death of the king. In his absence, greedy men have become emboldened. This only worsened when Prince Edmund, their only heir, refused to take the throne at a time of war. His sister Lelena would rule in his stead until such a time when the war was won or a peace could be broken. What comes next is a matter of great debate and countless rumors, but what we know for certain is within months Lelena was married. A man named Erlich, who was of minor nobility and far from a suitable match for the standing queen, was quickly crowned, and Edmund's throne was usurped. In the years that followed, Ravanna has crumbled from within. Corruption runs rampant, fighting between noble houses threatens to tear the kingdom apart, and word from the capital is Erlich's parties grow increasingly decadent. The king is either blissfully unaware or indifferent to the state of Ravanna. This is a time for either heroes or villains to rise. A kingdom lies in the balance. Which way will the scales tip?
I'm not ready.
And, well, you have to be ready because we are back. Ravanna is back after a 3-week and 1-hour hiatus.
That 1 hour did me in. I forgot how to play D&D.
We forgot how to play.
That's it. It's over.
Yep.
All right. So, welcome, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a little while. I honestly don't really remember what happened, so I'm going to take a stab at a recap.
Yeah. But does anybody? We can just make shit up.
Yeah, right? Who knows?
We found the lost armor of Adelphi.
That's it.
So... 1,000 experience card from the deck of many things. Yeah.
Our...
I thought we just won the game, guys.
We just
that's you won D&D. If your DM forgets what happens, it's like when a college professor doesn't show up for 20 minutes, you can leave class. If your DM,
I think it's 15. It used to be 15 back in my day.
Ah,
but I'm also from New York, and we have no patience, so that's part.
You know, that's what it is. It was the New York Minute.
Exactly.
But all right, so our band of intrepid travelers, intrepid commuters, found themselves at the Talamir Inn, and there was some shit going down at the Talamir Inn. They were dealing with some bandits and some corrupt guards, and people are getting killed, and they decide to help them out, get to the bottom of it. Turns out the whole thing was masterminded by their fucking daughter, which
who figured it out.
Yeah, Alistair, the master detective.
Master detective.
Go figure.
That's his new title.
Right. I think he was just trying to get laid, but it worked out. So
I mean, yeah, and you uncover things during that process. It happens.
That's true. Let that be a lesson to you, kiddos.
You know how many women I've uncovered were actually evil masterminds in my day? You can't.
But that's cool.
Yeah, but that was 2 out of 3. It was.
But yeah, so they end up saving the daughter of a duke, which is a big fucking deal. Kelvin, you weren't here, so I'm gonna go a little extra in depth for Phil. Catch him up. I'm
sure Phil watched the video or listened to the podcast.
I didn't listen
during our 3-week and 1-hour hiatus.
Yeah, I totally did that.
So the daughter ends up getting out of the carriage, and she, you would gather, is to water what Tajit is to fire. She was not human, not anything you've ever seen, and Tajit has this pendant that he wears that looks like a coal. Like it looks like a red hot shining coal right out of a fire, but it doesn't burn him or anything. She has this pendant that is water. Like she put it into Tajit's hand, and it just like like just if water, it disappeared into his hand. But then when she picked it back up, that ball of water was still there. And when she did, you watch this like wave of calm come over Tajit, and she just got back in the carriage and they took off. But you guys ended up with, I don't know, a half a fuck ton of armor and weapons, and what's his name there?
The enemies we defeated.
Yep.
From the enemies you defeated. Yep. And
Who's
Canute
carrying all that shit?
We're splitting it up.
Oh
no, you're on.
Kelvin doesn't want to carry that shit. He's
you're unconscious, and we threw you in a cart.
Wait, why am I unconscious?
Because you're under a bunch of swords and you weren't here for the game.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it, guys.
It's coming.
Really? We couldn't just say Kelvin was quiet for a day?
Nope.
We
actually, you're
Every
lucky
time
we
someone
found
got there.
you because we lost you for a while.
Oh,
That's
actually.
true. Yeah, I forgot about that. All right,
In an effort to try to get laid, Alistair made you take another room, got you a key, but did not know which room it was, and then we had to just go searching for you.
Yeah, and you never got up in the morning. So
But we did. But we did search for you. That's the important thing.
There was, yeah. But all right, so we're going back. So Parliament gave you, I think he might have gave you some gold. But the big thing he gave you was this bright yellow gem, the size of like somewhere between a golf ball and a tennis ball. And you can tell Tajit has it, but you can tell immediately that it's got some magical quality to it. I feel like there was something else as well, but whatever. So
that was it, and then some gold. I think that was it.
Okay. So yeah, there was some gold.
How much gold was there?
Oh, I wrote it down.
10 platinum forever.
10 platinum per person?
No, I'm just kidding.
No, it was. Apparently, I didn't do the actual. Well, now there's fewer of us, so it's actually more. Hold on.
You need help dividing by 4, Alistair.
Yeah, right.
Well, there was a lot.
Break out your abacus.
All right, so you each get 30 silver. 1 copper. I'm giving you guys all of the copper. I'm not taking any of it.
So generous.
And 20 gold.
Sure.
Right. And then there's the gem. Really? And then the equipment was, I gave you a rough idea of the gold.
Did you? I don't remember.
Did I break down? I don't know.
We didn't get to that because we were deciding if we were going to Dorleman or to the festival.
Sure. All right. So I'll tell you that some of it's damaged and used, but if everything was new, like if I had a chart or something in a PHB maybe that I could consult, everything new would cost about 2,300 gold. So it's it's a lot of shit.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And then Canute gave you. I think he gave you like 100 and something gold, right?
That was the total of everything that we found and got.
Because his daughter, so there was the chest she had.
Oh, we also
completely emptied that, and she stole all her parents' money. So they're hard up now. Go ahead.
Outside of the yellow gem was 1 gold coin, like a fancy gold coin from Clement.
That's right. I'm glad you made special note of that. I thought you just chalked it up to gold.
No, I made a special note. It just wasn't next to the other note. And a scroll.
So there's that. And then, so Mabel just stole everything from Canute. So Canute couldn't repay you the way he wanted to. But what he told you to do was check out, when you get to Dorleman, look up his brother owns a shop there. And tell him, was that his name?
Bergella's brother, Caleb, he owes us a favor or something like that. I have notes about that in my...
Yes, that's what it is. It's Bergella's brother. It's been 3 weeks. I don't write shit down. I'm usually
tracking.
Good for about a week. Thank you. You guys are going to make my job so much easier. But yeah, so he told you to look him up and tell him that the favor that he owes Canute has now been, he owes you. So this shop owner in Dorleman owes you one. And they sent you on your way. So that was the other thing. So then you go to sleep, and everybody else has these crazy, vivid dreams. And they wake up in the morning, And Kelvin, you were, or I mean, wow, it's been 3 weeks. Ryan, what's your character's name?
River.
River. Yeah.
You were outside, right?
Yes.
Well, when I had my thing, yeah.
Yeah. So you wake up outside. Tajik wakes up in the fireplace with like the fire on, and he's just sitting there, not getting burned, naked, for way too long. Like he after he woke up, he sat there for a long fucking time. Denalci was just gone, and you didn't wake up. And they waited and they waited.
I was in my bed also naked, but for different reasons.
Yeah. Yeah, Alistair had the most normal.
Yeah.
He just went to bed, woke
Just
up.
a normal night for me.
But so that I think is where we will begin, is with Kelvin's vision. And I prepared everything for this week, but I prepared that 3 weeks ago and never thought about it until just now. So give me like 7 seconds to try to remember what your vision is.
Okay.
Okay. I only needed 3. Look at that. Might have been 4. I don't know. So you drift off to sleep and you begin to dream. And it doesn't take you long to figure out that this is not a normal dream. You're conscious in a way that you aren't normally in dreams. You're very aware that this is not the real world. You remember going to sleep. You can, like, you're pretty sure if you concentrated really hard, you could make yourself wake up. You can't really shape the world around you. It's not like you have control, but you're dreaming.
Okay.
And this, how do I put it? Like, everything is kind of in the way of dreams. Like, things are there. You don't see the physical thing, but you see like a representation. So you have a tunnel or a long hall in front of you. And at the end is something that represents essentially answers, like what you want, the thing that you need. And between you are all these perils. And you're faced with the choice of whether to go forward and risk these perils, or turn your back and decide your ultimate goal isn't worth the risk. It seemed because the perils in front of you seem unsurmountable. Like I'd like to get there, but I'm gonna die. Like I'm not gonna get through these things. People don't survive this shit. So what do you do? Do you turn back or do you go forward?
And what am I perceiving the ultimate goal to be in my dream?
Getting into it's a vague entity. You know what I mean? It's not like a
yeah, but I guess for me it's important because it's like, is it like basically my life's work goal, or is it just like an incremental aspect of that?
Maybe it's what it answers. Is that?
Yeah. And I have the impression that the perils are insurmountable. Do they seem deadly to me? Yes. They seem like they would kill me?
Yeah.
Kelvin would turn away.
Okay. So as you turn away, there is a child, and it's like glowing, and you realize maybe it's not a child. You think it might be a halfling, but it's all like indiscernible. There's light behind it, and you can't make out any facial features or anything. And the second you start to think, it responds, and it's in like the instant it takes you to begin a thought, it happens. The whole thought happens, and they respond to you all in your mind, like very fast. So it's not like a conversation. It's just this exchange of information. And essentially, it tries to assure you that everything is going to be okay, or it isn't. Which it sounds weird, but then you see, in an instant, hundreds upon hundreds of people's lives. And you see people who face danger and run and are killed. And you see people who face danger and push through and survive. And it's like, so you'll see people doing what you deem to be the smart thing, and they end up dying, and people doing what you would deem to be the foolish thing and end up surviving. And then you see people doing the smart thing and surviving, and people doing the foolish thing and dying. And you kind of gain this understanding that something has happened to you. Though I kind of skipped over. So when you see this entity, you get this feeling. This is when you realize that you have received the god's blessing. The god Oswin, you just like, you don't know how you know, but you know. And then you're able to put together that all these people that you're seeing are all people who have received the blessing. And what you come to understand is life with this blessing is highly, I don't want to say left up to fate, but you stand just as good a chance dying being cautious as you do. The normal rules don't apply anymore, essentially. And the figure kind of puts this understanding into you that the blessing you've received, you could view it as a blessing or it could be a curse, because it very well may kill you. Like, people who get this blessing die untimely deaths all the time, and that very well may happen, but there's really no turning back now. So sorry if you didn't want it. Essentially, it's like, but it's.
I didn't ask for this.
But you will find the answers you are seeking if you survive, and this is the only way you were ever going to. And so that kind of like, you've had like greatness essentially thrust upon you, and you feel like you're left with like hours upon hours to kind of think it through and come to terms with it. And as soon as you do, you realize that it's only been an instant, and the time is just all fucky, you know. And that's a technical term, fucky.
I've heard it. I guess. Yeah.
And when you are ready, you may turn back to face your goal. And just as soon as you do, you can see think of the danger as like a tunnel, as like the walls of a tunnel, and you have to get through. And the second you turn around, you see several iterations of yourself. And in one, you're wielding fire, and you're like in the tornado, and you're just raining havoc down on all the danger around you. In another, you're turning yourself into this beast and combating it, and you're just watching it, and none of those really feel like you. And you're able to gather that each one represents a school of magic. And you see one where you just are charming the dangers and making them your friends, and they're all very grandiose. And then you just see the very simple one where you become invisible and just walk right through. And it's no fuss, no muss. There was all this effort put into all these other ones for no reason, and you just sauntered right through. And that seems like the most logical and the most like, why on earth would anyone do it any other way? You just walk right through. Who cares? You know. And when you see that one, there's this. So you've been studying magic for a little while, and you haven't been exactly struggling, but it's like you're a low level wizard. But something about illusion magic after that just kind of clicks, and without having to study or anything, you just spells that you've heard of that you now understand, and it's just like, oh shit, I know how to make illusion, and it clicks. And essentially that is when you wake up and you're in the back of a wagon. Who knows how much time has passed? You're laying on swords and axes and bloody armor, and the punctured armor is stabbing you in the back, and not it's just very uncomfortable, and you sit bolt upright.
And what you don't know is that you have a painted on mustache.
Yep.
It's true.
Where the hell are we? What's going on? Do I see anyone?
Yeah, so I believe there's, I think, somebody's driving the cart, and then a couple of people are riding next to you on horses, and Quigglesmith's with you. And just as you're kind of trying to put it all together, this Fusa you assume the Fusa from the camp, just comes like bounding towards you, like looks like it's looking right at you, and
get away! Get away!
And in midair turns into Denalci and just lands in the cart with her hands on her hips like Peter Pan, and she's just like, "What's up, bros?"
Oh,
and she's been gone this whole time. You don't know that, but it's been several days, and she's just been gone. Like, they found you and you were asleep. Who knows where the fuck she was? And yeah, there you go. Let's begin.
Morning, sunshine, and welcome back to you there. I see you got yourself a little bit of a wee power there. You can change into your doggy friend or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, it's a Fusa. I'm a Fusa, and it's awesome.
And I must say, Kelvin, I don't know what it is. Maybe it was the extra sleep, but you look particularly dapper today.
I don't know. I think it's in your head, man.
No, it's you, sir. And you look great. Great, never better.
Okay, thank you, I guess.
So now Slee starts laughing to herself.
What the hell's happening? Where are we going? What happened?
Well, we didn't want to miss the caravan, you see, and, well, you were asleep and Denalci was missing, so River and I took you, we threw you in the back of the cart, and we decided to head on our way. They're still heading toward the festival, and we're trying to decide if we're going to head down there with them, maybe make a little coin, have a little fun, or just go straight on to Dorleman, which sounds very boring.
I mean, I guess whatever. I'm fine with whatever. I mean, everything's okay. We're okay.
Well, everything's great. I mean, we're bona fide heroes, of course. I mean, we saved a duke's daughter, and I mean, I killed a captain of the evil, not maybe the sergeant of the guards, whatever the fuck he was, but you might have missed that part there, son. But yes, I took it upon myself to rid the world of his evil doing.
I'm very happy for you, Master Alistair.
I appreciate your support in this matter, of course. Thank you.
Yes, I'm sure it was quite wonderful. Your swordsmanship, that is.
It was a sight to be seen. It surely was.
Yeah, Apamak coming in and saving your life.
Yeah, nobody saw that, okay?
Leave it to the bard. All
okay,
right.
So we're heading to the festival then? Is that what's happening?
Well, certainly a place I'd like to go. Of course, you know, we all want to head to Darlaman, and we don't want to waste too much time, but a day or so at the festival, sell all of these great wares that we found here, upon, you know, the bodies of the dead, but still, nobody needs to know that. We polish them up a little bit, make a little coin, play a little music, have a little food, get a little drink, and it sounds like a wonderful time.
I just want to interject that River would definitely be at the front of whatever's happening at the caravan. Probably not involved in this conversation.
Sure. All right. So, yeah, at that point, Quigglesmith pipes up and he's like, "What? Yeah, the festival is a lot of fun, and you know, I could use a little fun. I'm going either way, but I could use your cart to get there. And if you need anybody to help you sell these wares, I'm a great salesman." Yeah.
What's your cut exactly?
How much do you how much do you want?
Well, I mean, 10% is probably the going rate.
You only want 10%.
No, I'm talking about for you, of course. 90 for us.
I'll tell you what. Everything I get above 1,000 is mine.
I don't know how much anything costs.
I know.
I mean, 1,000 gold sounds like a lot of money. That seems fine, right? I mean, how much gold do we actually...
He didn't say 1,000 gold, but...
Well, I mean, we can always clarify. I assumed he meant 1,000 gold.
Quigglesmith's trustworthy. He's not trying to pull one over.
Why don't we say an even 1,500? Everything above is yours. We have a lot of stuff here. A lot of blood was spilled. Look at poor Kelwin.
Are you kidding? You'll be lucky to get 1,500. There's no room for me in there.
Can I do an insight check on this guy?
Sure.
You have to roll it.
No, but I can.
Yeah, my modifier is
13.
0. And that's only because of my jack of all trades. It used to be -1.
Look at that. So, any parents out there, if you want your kids to practice multiplication, have them roll d20s. If they're fancy and colorful, they will totally multiply those numbers. All right.
That's one to grow on.
Yeah, it's like you believe him. You don't know how much this is worth, but you know, a 50%
All right, well then 1,000 seems fair.
You don't think he was trying to rip you off, and if he thought he could get 1,500 gold for this stuff, he'd be ripping you off.
Yeah, he's a pleasant fellow. So, Kelwin, do you agree? I mean, yeah, I'm assuming you do, but do you agree on the terms here?
I'm not a businessman. That's not my specialty. I defer to you guys, but that seems like a lot of money. So I would be happy to get, a quarter of that. Or a fifth of that, I guess.
A fifth it is.
Alistair, you know something he doesn't.
I might.
You can't, possibly.
I could. What could I possibly know?
Tajit knows. Tajit knows all.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like he's just sitting there and like mumbling to himself. He's saying, a quarter. Definitely a quarter. Quarter is 25. 25 is a fourth. Quarter.
Yeah, I don't... There are 5 of us, Tajit.
Quarter. And then he just goes back to...
Well, I think upon that all is settled.
To the festival, then.
To the festival. I'm sure River will be pleased.
Yeah, he would.
I'm sure your DM will be pleased as well, you son of a bitch. All right, so you guys head north. So let's see. Let me pull up the map and. All right, so you guys are essentially right on River's token. He's on top of it, right there. And the straight path to Dorleman, you instead head north. And the festival is somewhere right in this general area. Mm-hmm. And you managed to get there without any trouble because it's 10:30. So
yeah, baby.
And so we're gonna cruise past the 3. I don't know but that's probably about a week's journey that it takes you to get there.
And just reminded me how far from here to Dorleman is it?
From where you are now, I probably 10-12 days, something like that.
And this is our wagon now because Quigglesmith's was stolen.
That's right.
All right, good.
So, yeah, you went from hitching a ride with Quigglesmith to now Quigglesmith's hitching a ride with you.
It's all fair.
I mean,
it's a wash.
So now, like he was, as far as he knew, he was dead or being sold.
Which is why I think he's still fucking us over on this deal.
Well, he also he lost everything. He lost all his shit and he never complained about it once. Right. He was just
and that's our fault. How?
What? Well, I'm not saying, but he's trying to make the best of a situation.
Yeah, no, he is, and he's winning because.
Alistair, stop being a hard ass. Let's get our shit going.
That's right.
No one gives a fuck.
Greedy people do.
It's true.
All right, so yeah, you get up, and the festival is it's a bustling, and you guys arrive just around dusk, and everybody's kind of like there's a buzz in the air, and I'm gonna pull up the map of Teaberry. Oh, I pulled it up. Let me bring you guys there.
Teaberry.
Yeah, that's what happens when I try to name towns on the spot. All right, you guys see that?
Yep.
This is not where the festival is.
This is where the festival
is. This is where the festival is. Yes. Got it. Okay.
I apologize for my town and village maps are not going to be the best, but
all these roads. Look at all the roads. All the locations.
It's like Woodstock. It's just all.
Yeah, that's it. It's just I like actually tried toying around with doing some like quick grass and roads, and I was like, it's either going to be shitty or I'm going to have to put an hour into it. And I just erased it all. So here it is.
No. I'm just giving you a hard time.
No, it's fine. Yeah. Okay. So you guys arrive. And it seems like everybody's kind of ushering into the center of the town, and there's some buzz, and you hear the name, Madam Tilly. Madam Tilly and her traveling troupe is going to be performing, and it's like the talk of the festival. It's been like the festival's been going on for about a week now. It's kind of winding down because you guys got held up a little bit, and they had a late start to begin with. So this is basically the second to last day, and one of the big send-offs is there's always a big show every year, and this year they got Tilly and her band, and it's supposed to be a big fucking deal. So you guys follow the crowd into.
Yeah, I want to see that. Yeah.
All right. So this crater is actually a stage. There's no stages in Incarnate. Come on, Incarnate, make a stage.
Over here in the center.
Right there. Yep.
Okay. Oh, okay. Got it.
And there's just people, just big crowd, like you're at a concert, just real tight, like right where all the buildings open up. That's all just a huge crowd of people. Go ahead.
I do have a question. Is the stage like recessed, like amphitheater style, or is it like up above us?
It's up. It's
okay.
up. Yeah.
That's right. Got it.
And so you're just on ground level, and you have, they have the advantage.
Got it.
And you can see there's this beautiful woman, and this kind of strong man looking type is like holding out his hand, and she's standing on it. And then there are two seem to be twins, either gnomes or halflings. You're not sure from the distance. And they're doing like this acrobatic stuff and like flinging each other up. And one of them ends up holding his brother up. And then you see like this smirk on his face, and he grabs him by the ankles and just slams him on the ground. And it gets like this huge laugh. And then his brother jumps up. They just kind of start fighting. And it's a very like tuck and roll from A Bug's Life. If anybody's seen the animated film, that's essentially their shtick.
That looks dangerous. Hope that they're okay.
So, and you can tell they're kind of like vamping, it's the show hasn't quite started yet, but they're going to be coming on soon. And now the sun has set, and Tilly gets up and she starts to speak, and her voice is very loud, and she goes, "All right, everyone, I hope you're excited. It is about to begin. I've been waiting for so long."
Woo! Have I heard about her at all in this band?
Give me a straight D20 roll. Anybody who wants to can.
Of course, I want to.
Hellman doesn't engage in such frivolities.
Natural 20.
No.
Ooh. Oh man.
River, you're pretty sure you have. You can't put your finger on it, but that definitely rings a bell.
Okay.
So weird. The natural 20 doesn't know, but the 11 does.
That is weird. I don't even see his 11.
Because IGM rolled it.
Oh, sorry about your secret roll.
It's okay.
All right, so yeah, and Then you see from like kind of just off in the distance in every direction this gold. It almost kind of looks like a firework, like as it's shooting up. Lines go straight up and then curve, and they're every, I don't know, 20 yards or so in a circle around the entire town. All shoot straight up, maybe 100 feet in the air, and then come together, going upward at an angle and just unify right above. And then it kind of like fizzles out. And she goes, oh, that's it. It has begun. No more point of the facade now. It is time that you all see the power of the one true God. And then she says a name, but none of you hear a name. You hear some like garbled, painful thing. Everybody give me a con save.
Oh, damn. Okay.
I thought this was going to be a musical performance.
Is this part of the show? I don't, that doesn't feel very good.
18.
Holy shit, Kelwin!
Kelwin next.
Kelwin doesn't hear the garbled thing. He hears the name of the god, and I will tell you later.
Okay.
But the rest of you just hear that garbled and take 1d4 points of psychic damage.
Damn.
You want us to roll it, or are you going to roll
No, I got it.
This is a nice show, guys.
Yeah, no, it's
Really nice.
sucks.
Oh, yeah. Blah, blah, blah.
Ooh, did I turn this on? Did I do this?
What, DM?
So you each take 2 points of psychic damage. These fancy 3D rolls. All right. And
Say, what the fuck was that? I was expecting a musical performance.
And then you kind of, like, you guys are kind of in the crowd, so you can't see too well. But you just, from the outsides of the crowd, in pretty much all around, you hear panic and blood-curdled screams. And so, yeah. And we're going to take a break right there. And come back in a couple of minutes. Everybody refresh their drinks and, tinkle if they need to.
Will do.
Intermission. And we'll be right back now that I'm ready.
you guys are gonna need them.
And on that note, we're back.
All right. So yeah, there is this general panic, and you turn back to the stage, and that once beautiful woman is now the most hideous fucking creature you have ever seen. Hunched over, this pale blue, dead-looking skin, a long hooked nose, all warts, and her hair is gray string, and she lets out this just cackle. And
do I see all this now too?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm like, I don't know why everyone else is freaking out, but is this part of the show? I mean,
I think like the show has gone bad.
Everyone, give me a wisdom save.
Oh, look at that! I am not good at these.
Is it a magical
13.
wisdom save? Because
you're really not good at those.
Your modifier is worse than mine.
I know, but yeah, I'm wasting all my good rolls early on here.
I will. Still failed.
Alistair is the most wise among us.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Let me just pull up see what the save is.
I hope it's a 13.
Yeah, so Alistair, you are the only one who is not frightened. When you the other two of you, when you turn and see this horrible creature, you are overcome with fear, and you're not alone. A general wave of panic. There was already like unsettling. What is that? People dying out there, and they turn back, and then it just gets into like irrational, primal fear, and it just people start beginning to stampede. And as you turn, you watch Denalcy twist and contort, and she starts turning back into the Fusa. It seems like, but she keeps growing and growing, and she is on hind legs, essentially the werewolf version of a Fusa, and she just starts eating people.
Holy shit.
Wait, she's eating people?
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck? What? Denalcy, what are you doing?
Yeah, no,
I have a question for you, DM. I see this, yes?
Oh, yeah.
With everybody. Am I too afraid to attack her?
To attack
Denalcy.
No. So you're frightened of the witch.
Okay.
As we will call her.
Okay.
Which, mechanically, you have to. I know.
Yeah. Mechanically, I understand fear.
Let me see. Because seems like frightened can go a couple different ways.
Yeah, it depends on what the effect is, because the effect could be I have to dash away while she's in sight, but if I don't have to dash away, then River's going to be like, whoa, bro, like, then I have to try to kill you.
Yeah, no, so you just can't approach her. But yeah, Denalcy's fair game.
Then I'm even though I'm scared, I'm gonna have to try to attack her if she's eating people.
Oh yeah, no, she's like just like ripping throats out, like Absolutely. Just savage animals.
I have not known her long enough to think that she's not a threat.
All right, so give me an attack, and then we'll get into
yeah. Oh, nice, 22.
Nice. Well, give me 2, because I'm assuming you're both blades.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, nice, 18. I'm pretty sure she drops. Just kidding.
So she she's attacking somebody, and you just come and just like cleave into her back twice. She doesn't even try to defend it, and she kind of like looks back at you, and then just goes back to eating like it did. Like you see you cut her open, like there's big gashes, but she does not seem to give a half a fuck.
Well,
what the hell is going on, guys?
I'll take that back. I misspoke. She like rears back and like howls, and then looks at you, and then just goes back to like killing. Like she probably actually does take a swipe at you, but it's more just like I'm gonna kill every single person I see, and the fact that you have just injured her doesn't seem to impact her at all. And where's my dice? Oh, there you go. But she swipes wildly at you, and you're easily able to defend it or to block it. Everybody, give me a perception check.
Natural 1. I'm still trying to figure out where the musical entertainment is.
It's up to you, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna take over.
Get
off the stage. I got it. I got this.
Once was like
give me a dex save, Alistair.
15.
Okay, so you are like people just like they're going crazy, and you're able to get like bumped twice, like once, and then the second one really knocks you off balance, but you're able to stay on your feet and not fall to the ground, which is the key to not getting trampled to death in one of these situations.
I'll take it.
River, perception. Oh, you already did. Never mind.
Yep.
You're way up there. You're so fast. All right. So River and Kelvin, you both see through the crowd to your east. This over here is the graveyard. You see that over there? This is a cemetery.
Yes, we see.
Oh,
we see
wait.
it.
Okay.
Do that again. I'm backing up for myself in the audience. Oh, over there. Okay.
Yeah, that's the closest thing I could come to
over
gravestones. Here? Yep. And the dead are climbing out of their graves.
Wow.
What the fuck is going on, guys?
It's Halloween, motherfuckers!
I'm regretting coming to the festival.
Let's
you wanted
get
to go
the
to the festival.
fuck away from here. Let's run.
Kelvin, we cannot leave the Nazi like this. We must bring her down. And whenever it comes back to my turn per se, I want to attack her again.
Okay.
She's still eating people.
River, leave it to the professionals. Like, there are guards and stuff here, I'm sure. Someone else can take care of this problem.
All right, so
I mean, as far as I'm
that's the
concerned, we
extent
can.
of what you guys can exchange verbally. Kelvin, are you leaving, or are you like not? Are you waiting for River? Or are you going? Like, what are we doing?
No, River's gonna continue to.
Kelvin is, I guess, Kelvin is going to start running in the opposite direction from the cemetery.
Okay.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 25, and then.
Oh yeah, I should mention with this. I could not this is basically as big as I can make the map.
Oh, these are not 5 feet.
It's not the scale. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Whatever. It doesn't matter. 25 feet. So he runs a little bit in the other direction. He can still see the hag, and he can see Denalci in this wolf form or Fusa form or whatever.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's people and shit, so but yeah. And you in particular must be very careful not to get trampled.
Sure.
It's hella dangerous.
So I'm sure I can see Denalci clearly enough to shoot at her. Can I see the hag clearly enough? Because I would say, I don't think Denalci is in her right mind.
Sure. You can. You can see either one of them are going to have half cover just because of all the people. Oh, you're short. 3/4 cover. Because it's just this crazy melee, and you'd have to try to time it between gaps. And there's a chance you might hit somebody.
Okay. Yeah, I would if I would shoot at the hag. That's
okay.
The only thing that makes sense to me.
Sure.
Kelvin has no reason to believe that Denalci has kind of turned.
Sure. Oh, I got caught up in my description too. So the hag, the strong man holding her is this even bigger than it was before. It's probably 8 feet tall and 800 pounds more maybe, but just obese, just a blob of fat. And I don't mean like the, kingpin fat where it's like that solid, strong kind of fat. Like this is just the most grotesque, obese, baby-looking 800. Just yeah. And then the two acrobats, the other side of her, are kind of goblin-esque in size, but their heads are kind of football shaped. And they have these long ears going off, and their skin is this like black slime, almost slimy looking, scaly, kind of like a snake, but like this shimmery black. And their head is like all mouth, like it's just like from ear to ear. Like you could tell if they opened it, they could just like put your whole head in their mouth, even though they're small. It's just like whoa, and just these evil yellow eyes with vertical pupils like a cat, and just the whole thing. It seems fucked up. But you take your shot at the hag.
I already did. I missed.
Okay. Oh, I see it now.
An 8 might hit. You never know.
Yeah, no, it does not. But you never know. You never know.
I'm still just standing there where I was, and I'm not scared, and I'm looking around confused, and I just say, as somebody's rushing past me to get out of this scenario, say, I appreciate the stagecraft, but I still am waiting for the song. Is there...
no, still
no reaction.
Yeah, and then I get a little bored, so I'm gonna wander. Is there did I notice like a bar or something on the way in?
Yeah, you did notice a bar.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna start walking toward there, try to avoid the mad rush. But
all right, so the bar is the one you would have seen is this building right here, which is south of you.
All the way down here?
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to make my way that way because this show sucks.
You did notice this is kind of the merchants district right in here.
Okay.
So while you didn't see a pub, it stands to reason shops and pubs usually go.
Yeah. I've been to enough of these types of festivals.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I'm just going to just start heading over there casually.
All right, so as you do, you just kind of, Calvin's going off in one direction. River's trying to fight a fucking werewolf by himself. And you go, and it is just
my
chaos.
Perception was very poor.
Oh, that's true.
I didn't see any of that.
That's true. You didn't.
Well, I mean,
I just think this is a shitty show.
Even if you don't see the hag, you'll see like the people running around you, right?
I know. I just think this is part of the show. Like this is, and they're scared of. It's like a haunted house. You go to a haunted house, there's always the people that are screaming and screaming, and you're like, okay, I get it. People jumping out at me. All right.
I'm not going to buy into it.
Yeah.
It's great.
I'm not that wise.
So you're getting jostled and bumped, but you kind of make it to like almost to the edge of where the buildings are, where the merchant district begins, before you really notice anything. And there is just this man, no armor. He's kind of just wearing like a duster, and he has this long hair, and his head is just down. Like he doesn't seem to be like he's looking at his feet.
It's a beggar.
But he has this.
I don't like beggars.
He has this sword, and it's like the length of a short sword, but the blade is like 6 inches wide, and he's just hacking people down as they're running, just like barely even looking at him, and just thump, thump. And
all right, now I start to think that something might be amiss.
So the guard surrounds him. It's like 12 guys with like pikes and shields, and you can hear him like calling for surrender. And he just keeps like walking towards them, and so they stab him, and he just kind of like pushes himself down the pike and just goes and just starts hacking. And they all start. They're all just like swinging away on him, and it just seems like this like melee. And like he kind of disappears, and you're like, okay. and then you just kind of watch as the guards just like kind of topple off, and the guy's just no change, just head down still and just fucking hacking, and all those guards are dead.
Huh. Well, I'm gonna run the fuck away from that.
What
are these things over here? These little buildings over here?
They're all it's all shops.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to run toward the close because he's on what? He's on this side of me.
No, he's actually right here.
Oh, well, then I'm gonna run as fast as I can toward this shop.
Okay. Yeah, you can get you get to it and you go to open it, and it opens a little, so it's not locked, but you can think it's someone's holding it shut or it's barricaded shut. But you can't get the door open.
I say, "Let me in, you fuckers! There's a madman with a sword, and he's killing everybody."
Roll perception.
That's not my specialty.
That's a pretty good roll, though.
So yeah, now it catches up to you. Off to your left, off to the east, you can see skeletons and just bodies in various forms of decomposition are just tearing people apart and eating them, and just really savage shit.
I said, "Open the fucking door!"
You guys have gotten split in like the most dangerous situation.
This is the worst festival I've ever been to. Open the door!
All right, so River, you're going after Denalci.
I got to. Yeah.
All right.
She's eating people. Everybody's just
I didn't notice that. To my defense.
Yeah, with a natural one, you like.
I was still waiting for the show to start. I'm like, oh, these are cool
slow
costumes.
On the give me 2 more attacks with advantage on Denalci.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, still. So and you're just like carving flesh out. And this time she kind of like she does react and kind of takes off running through the crowd.
Okay. I will not give chase. It's more about just getting her off of the people.
Yeah, and it's watching her move is enough to be like, oh, maybe, because like she just bounds like 20 feet at a leap, and she just lands on people and takes them down. You can see just her landing on them with their claws, like that person's dead, onto somebody else, and then like a couple of steps and another bound, and it's just like she covers 100 feet really fucking fast.
Got it. Yeah.
And it's through the crowd. Like it's people are just. Like, you might have to jostle him through, and it's just knocking them down like a bowling ball to pins, you know? Kelvin, you shot at the hag. You're trying to move away. Give me a dex save, actually. All right, so you end up getting knocked to the ground by somebody, and... You just narrowly kind of roll out of the way as this big boot comes down, and you're able to scramble back up to your feet.
Okay.
What's on the agenda? You're just still trying to just get out?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Kelvin doesn't think there's a reasonable chance of him really hitting anything in the crowd, and he's more likely to just get trampled than do any good, so he is running. Basically, wherever we had left our wagon, that's the direction that Kelvin would be heading.
Okay. So
he wouldn't just leave River, though. He would specifically shout to River, "Master River, I'm leaving now. I'm going to the wagon. We're going to die. I recommend discretion over valor." And then Kelvin's just casting a minor illusion to replace where he is with a giant rock. And then dashing the fuck away.
Okay. So you watch like all these people are just running, and then they're like suddenly like have to throw themselves off balance and like, like trying to avoid this rock, and then somebody like finally like falls and they're just gonna bash their face right into it, and instead they just go right through, and it's like dropping a big rock, and it caused as much chaos as it possibly could. Are you going straight for? So this is essentially where like the stables are and where your cart would be. This general area. You just straight beelining it, or like you were heading west, are you gonna loop around, or
wait, sorry, pin again exactly where the
right there.
Hold on, zoom out
southern portion of the map.
Southern portion of the map. Yeah, I would be making a beeline there. Kelwin is taking the direct escape route available.
Okay.
Assuming he doesn't even see everything that's happening, but he sees enough people dying around him, including guards, to know that like there's really nothing for him here.
Oh yeah, and you can as you were heading west, you can see like a bunch of people running in that direction, but then there's also screams coming from that direction, and you see some people running back. So it's like not everybody, but they're like 90% of people are running that direction, and then there's just like those few who are like, nope, not that way. Make their way back upstream, and all right, so you start heading south. River, give me just a super easy low DC perception check to see if you can see Kelwin and make all this out through the crowd.
Is super easy 5? Because
yep, super easy.
Yeah.
I probably would have given you 4, but yeah. So you are able to see him heading south, and you watch him actually get knocked down and realize that like, oh yeah, shit, he's 2 feet tall.
Yeah, I'll definitely run over to him and try to help him up and help him, follow him away, because obviously whatever's happening, I'm still afraid of the hag. Like. I agree. We should get the hell out of here.
Both you guys can give me with saves again. Disadvantage.
Okay.
That balances out for me, so it's
okay.
That's
good. River, you're still frightened. Kelwin, you're not.
It's fine. I'm running away from her anyway. Yeah. I'm going in regardless of frightened or not. I'm getting the fuck out of there, so it is fine.
You're not. The fuck I'm not. I'm scared to shit right now. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So you guys you're heading south to the cart. Alistair, they're not letting you into the shop, man.
All right, I'm heading to this shop.
Yeah, that one.
But would I have seen Alistair at all, like as River and I were kind of making our way out?
Give me a perception.
Okay.
I mean, I was making a lot of racket.
Nope.
But you're also very short. So.
Yeah. That this is probably one of the worst times ever to be this tall. Very dangerous. So you get to this shop.
Like 4 feet, guys. He's not like a
4 feet, really?
Yeah,
oh, that's not that bad. I thought gnomes were like 2.5, 3 feet tops.
No. He's like pretty standard. He's 3'8".
Oh, okay. All right, yeah. So
still below 4.
Back all that's barely anything. Yeah, okay.
I mean, it's still like a little kid. Like,
yeah, it's still pretty short.
And
I'm not complaining. I'm not 2 feet. Okay, that's like half.
Yeah, no,
all right. Like,
that is insulting. You're right.
Very valid. Or even 3. Like, 5 foot to 6 foot, not a huge. 3 foot to 4 foot, that's a big fucking difference. Like that 12 inches matters.
Yeah.
Anyways.
All right, so yeah, you go. So that shop is not only open, all the windows are smashed out, and people are looting.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Why are people looting?
Because people are. There's always gonna be.
Die.
Does it look like there's anything?
We're gonna die. Let's take shit.
Does it look like there's anything good?
Yeah. It's a weapon shop. So
that's not my.
A little bit of functionality to the loot.
Also was what's his name with us?
Quigglesmith.
Quigglesmith. Yeah. Where was he? Was he with us when this all went down,
was
or what?
Was he eaten by Denalsi?
No, he like you guys got there, and he's a people person, and He's got some wares to sell. He was going off to make connections.
Wait a minute. Is this? Could it be?
Oh my!
I hear him, but yet I don't see him.
Yeah,
All right, we're gonna have to catch Tajit up and see how he's handling the riot.
Riot? What?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if riot's the right word. What's the fear version of a riot? All right. Sorry for the viewers at home.
Pandemonium.
Pandemonium. Yeah, there you go. That's a good one.
There you go. So you guys have arrived in Teaberry, where the festival was going on, just in time for this big show, which you're so lucky. It was Madame Tilly and her wonderful band. And just as you guys get there and it's about to begin, all these lights go up and surround the city. And as soon as it does, Madame Tilly tells you that shit's going to get bad. And all around you, people are dying. There's like the dead are crawling up out of the cemetery and eating people. The beautiful Madame Tilly has now revealed herself as a hag. The people around her are these other really fucked up. There are these two like little goblin gremlin looking motherfuckers. There's this super fat, grotesque, obese blob with her, and it's bad. And yeah, there's just people trampling each other and screams, like blood-curdling screams off in every direction. And and Denalci turned into a werefusa and is eating people. Eating people, yeah.
Yikes.
It got
Other than that, we're at the festival.
Alright.
We can sell some swords,
Who loves a festival?
You know what is happening in Dorleman right now? Just a nice...
Yeah, man, I wonder who wanted to go to Dorleman. I wonder who suggested that. Hey guys, who suggested that?
It was Kelvin wanted to come to the festival.
Yeah. Alistair just like, I mean, to your credit, you made that shit happen with like a unanimous vote the other way, so.
Just goes to show you, kids, never give up.
You could get murdered at a festival.
So, everything is happening. What are the others doing?
So River started attacking Denalci like immediately, which
she was eating people.
No, she was.
I don't blame him.
She's a werewolf and
She
just
was an
immediately
evil beast.
Yeah, no, she's a beast. Kelwyn took off to the west. Alistair just thought it was all a show, and he's just like casually strolling down to a bar. So he is currently in the Merchant District, right here, and has just recently realized that this is fucking
shit
serious.
show, and it's time to hide or go.
And Kelwyn and River are kind of in this general area, heading south to the cart, which is towards like the southern border of the town.
And last we saw you were somewhere near the stage.
Yeah, I have no idea where Tajid is.
So you look up there, and it's actually the hag and the fucked up gremlins. Oh, no, there's Tajit, and he's like juggling fire.
Lord. Well, obviously I'm gonna freak out once all of this breaks out.
Yeah.
But who do I freak out
Also, give me a
on?
wisdom save.
Alright. I'm logging in right now.
All right, I'll roll it for you.
Alright.
You failed. You're fucking terrified. Like the second you turn, so the hag was a beautiful woman, like really, like exceptionally beautiful. And then you turn and you see all like there's this chaos behind you, and you turn back and she's the hag, and you are overcome with fear. Like you're fucking terrified of her. She's like one of the scariest things you've ever seen, and you have
like a little voice
mechanic.
I can't even get out any words.
That was great.
Oh,
that's Tajit's reactions.
like I'm happy and I turn around. Oh!
All right. So what are you gonna do? We're gonna play some catch up.
What do I do in Denalcy? And then I'm gonna look over. Is she within line of sight of me eating people?
Yeah. Yeah, that's like when you look back and you look at Denalcy when you watch her transform.
What do I do, Denalcy?
Oh wow, you're eating people.
I don't know how to do that.
It's not helping.
And yeah, so she's just like, and then now River's attacking her. Kelvin's running off, and Alistair's just
Kelvin and River. Kelvin and River are together now. Kelvin and River are both running off.
Yeah, I mean now.
Oh, so we'll skip forward. I was. That's
I see. You're trying to keep it in line of you're
right.
backpedaling.
Yeah, but no, what we'll do is you just kind of stand there stunned for a little while and watch this shit happen. River attacks her a few more times, and the werewolf takes off. Kelvin, you can see, is calling for River and saying, where they're, and you watch them start heading south. You're not sure where Alistair is.
Yeah, I'm gonna just break down. Like, I'll be like, okay, and I'm gonna get on the ground. I'm gonna be clutching my head, be trying to just make myself really small, and be thinking, I'm gonna pull out maybe
so there's like,
and just start sniffing it.
There's also like I don't know, 1,000+ people around you just panicking, and like you're kind of also in the middle of a stampede.
By the way.
By the way, small note. Like if you lay down, you'll probably die.
Small note. Okay, yeah, that's gonna change my. So
you're
people are just touching me.
On Black Friday right now, man.
I'm just having these No. All right, yeah, I'm gonna have to cast a thunder wave on them. Yeah. Yikes.
As I was writing this, I was like, I bet you Tajit just cast thunder wave.
I'm gonna just have to yell at them. So that's just what we're gonna have to do. All right, yeah.
Kid tested, mother approved. Because he killed some kids with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you
and he
for
might
clarifying.
kill some more.
Explaining.
So all of a sudden there is just this like boom, and what is that? A 15-foot cube. So yeah, just like there's this good chunk of spot in front of you where it's just like almost like a crop circle of dead bodies. So there's like all this chaos, and there's like this one little space of calm where everything's dead. And
God damn it, Tajit! That's totally Tajit!
That's totally.
See, I hear that, and I just hope that he got the bad guys.
No, not that. That was just about 12 scared, innocent people.
Those were
nice.
Yeah.
He's Godzilla to their thousands of screaming Japanese.
I mean, he was scared. He didn't mean to be, but people do some fucked up shit when they're scared.
Yeah, man.
All right. You just, what's next? You cleared yourself a little path. You got some running room.
If I see them running, right, I'm gonna be freaking out. I'm gonna try not to touch anybody while I run through this path and like follow along with them, I guess, because Denalcy's like dead, isn't she?
No, crazy. She's killing people.
Yeah,
she like.
Oh, so River didn't kill her yet.
No.
Cut her 4 times and she took off running, but she doesn't look overly hurt. And she like the way she covered like 100 feet in like 4 seconds. She's just like bounding like 20 feet at a time. Yeah. All right, so the 3 of you guys are making your way south toward the cart. Alistair, you came upon a shop being looted.
Yeah, so when I see that, I'm gonna move to this shop.
This is a good show today.
You try the door. It's locked, but
and I think if only I had been able to purchase some thieves' tools, I'd be able to pick this lock.
This is probably the shop that has them too, because that's the way the world works.
Yeah, I was gonna come here later. I just keep moving from sort of shop to shop.
Sure. Yeah. So the next one you find, now that you're getting kind of a little bit farther out, that one is open.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in and then slam the door behind me.
Sure.
Is there anybody else in here?
Give me a perception check.
persuasion. I'm much better at that. Natural 20. I'm on high alert now.
Hear, as soon as the door slams, you hear the distinct click of a crossbow being loaded.
I say, wait, I'm one of the good guys. And then
Give me a persuasion.
And then I duck. 17.
Oh, good rolls, man. Pretty good.
Yeah. You hear this like small voice, and there's no real words. It's inaudible, and you see it's a kid. And they're behind the counter, and they kind of have the crossbow propped on the counter, and it's like they're like nose height to it, like just barely able to peer over. And
I say the crossbow's a good start, but what you want to do first is you want to barricade the door. Is there anybody else in here besides you? How many are there, kids?
It's just one. It shakes her head.
Is there anything to barricade the door with?
Yeah, I mean, there's not you don't have like a huge hutch or anything, but you can pile some shit, and better than nothing.
All right, I don't feel great about this. What are we looking at in terms of windows?
There's windows for sure.
Yeah. Is there like a back room? Is there one room?
Yep. No, it's essentially like the building's kind of divided in half. So you have your storefront and then your storeroom in the back.
All right. After we barricade the door, I'm gonna check the storeroom.
Okay. So it's a clothing store. So it's just.
Oh, do they have nice clothes here?
Yeah. Ish.
I mean, like
it's
fashionable.
So, like, if you came into this store and you had an hour, you could put together a nice outfit, but it would take some fashion sense. It wasn't like you could just grab something off the rack and it's really fine quality. I'd
have to work for this. Okay, all right. I stop for a moment and then I reprioritize.
Give me a perception check.
19.
You do notice a hell of a vest.
I grab it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just put it on, just so I don't lose it, and then because I don't want to take time to put it in my bag just yet. And then in the store, like, is there any walls or doors in this? I mean, windows or doors in the storeroom?
No windows in the storeroom, and there is a back door.
All right, I say. All right, kid, we got to get in here. You see, the problem is that you don't want to be in a place where they can bust through a door or a window. So we're going to get here, we're going to barricade ourselves in, and hope for the best.
Give me a perception check again. Sorry.
Where the fuck is Alistair?
Nope, that's not
good.
You
think that'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right, so... you guys are heading south. You are, just with your collective passive perceptions, can see there's more and more dead coming towards you. And
wait, more and more dead?
More and more dead. Yeah. So
wait, I thought the corpses were coming from the cemetery.
They are.
So I'm sorry. You made it sound like it sounded like you were saying they were coming in our direction, like approaching us in the direction we're fleeing.
No.
Okay.
I'm mistaken. So they're kind of from the west, just kind of moving out through the town. But you can see like the people. There's like your decomposed, rotting, nasty corpses, and there's skeletons, and then there are freshly dead people behaving in exactly the same way. And the number is quite large. Kelwyn, especially with your intelligence, you'd be able to gather that, like, this is too many people for this town cemetery that I can see in view. Unless every single one decided to come in this little section, they're multiplying.
What's going on, Kelwyn?
I don't know. There are more dead. They just keep on showing up.
I thought you said you knew about this.
What? I never said I know anything about dead popping up. What the fuck are you talking about, Tachi? Kelvin's just basically like continuing to just like run. He's like, once he realizes they're multiplying and he says that to everyone, he just like does not look back again. He's just basically like, nope.
NOPE. Gone.
All right. You guys just keeping in tow with him?
I mean, he's pretty slow, but I'll trot alongside of him. Absolutely.
You're 5 feet faster than me.
And he's a fucking cheetah.
Exactly.
Oh, fine. With the bonus action.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So how much longer until we actually get to our wagon?
Yeah, you can make it there without. I mean, you'll see some fucked up shit. Just terribly violent, brutal. You know. Yeah. But you can get there without any real incident.
Okay. Are the wagons hitched to? Are the horses hitched to the wagon still?
They are. Yeah. Luckily, you were there for such a short time that they really haven't been tended to at all.
Okay. Perfect. Kelvin is getting on the wagon. He's like, "Let's go now. We're leaving now. We gotta go in the opposite direction from the undead."
Guys on board?
No. Wait, first, we have to. We can't just leave everyone we came here with.
Well, the Nalsi went fucking crazy. I don't know where Alistair is, but we cannot wait for him. Do you not see the crazy amounts of undead that are coming? We cannot fight that. We barely survived against brigands. Fucking brigands, including the innkeeper's daughter.
Hey, DM, is there a way that like we can make him make a persuasion roll against something for me? Because as a player, I don't know what I would do.
Absolutely. Yeah, Kelvin, give me persuasion.
It'll be really funny if it's high.
I mean, it shouldn't be.
13.
And to what my insight? I don't know what I would be to be persuaded.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you feel is appropriate. Insight.
Sweet. All right.
A 3. Bye, guys.
Good.
I'll meet you at Dorleman.
All right.
All right, so you get in the wagon.
Yeah. River gets in the wagon.
All right. Mach 10.
Yes,
Goodbye, Alistair. I'm sure you'll be fine.
Piecing the fuck out, going in the opposite direction from the undead horde. We'll worry about reorienting ourselves to head towards Dorleman if it's not the right direction after we're like a ways out.
All right, so you guys just are riding, and like you're kind of this general area. You put the last of the buildings behind you, and you like there's like this reluctant like, okay, I think like there's thousands of people behind you to slow whatever the fuck that is down. You feel kind of good about it. Yeah. Where's my dice?
I'm really sorry that I probably messed up the camera setting on him.
No, it's fine.
I'm sorry.
Hey, now we're seeing you move, so it works.
Yeah. Oh, I wasn't moving before?
No, you were just a blurry, stationary object.
You all take very good landings somehow, as the horses and carriage just run full tilt into an invisible wall. And boom! We only take 1 point of damage, shockingly.
Nani?
Looks like hiding in the storeroom isn't such a bad idea after all. Now,
so how far out does this wall appear?
Give me an intelligence check.
Would it be Arcana or just straight intelligence? Actually, I don't
no, Arcana. Yeah, Arcana is. Yeah, give me Arcana.
Same for me.
Yeah, so those lights that came up are starting to make a little bit more sense now.
The lights that came up.
So before this whole started, there was like those yellow
sure.
of light. Yeah.
So this is, of course, super meta for me, but it was like a dome around us.
Yeah.
Ah, I see. Okay, cool.
So, you know what? Get in your cart and leave Alistair behind. I'm safe and sound.
I don't know if you're safe and sound. You're in a fucking house.
I will sacrifice this little girl to save myself.
Excellent. Noted.
Oh, Jesus.
Just a heads up. For those of you squeamish or have children of your own and don't like to witness these types of scenarios.
Look away.
Okay. Fantastic.
So did we just run into a wall?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a magical barrier here. I don't really know where we can go or what we can do though. It doesn't seem like there are any better places to hide. So I think we have to.
This is good. This is good. I've read about this.
Wait, and why is this
We're going to the wizard. We're going to the wizard Kalma's house. When you fly through the wall, your eyes they turn purple. Oh, this is good. She's going to cry.
Does anyone have any idea what the fuck he's talking about?
It's good, River.
So, Alistair,
you're muted, Ryan.
Yeah, I just said I have no idea what is happening.
Okay, well, I mean, we either stay along the dome and just hope that we get overlooked and don't get killed, or, I mean, I think that's really our only option. Actually, I don't really think there is anything else we can do here.
Get killed?
Yeah, we could get killed. That's definitely an option that is available to us.
No death at the witch Kalma's house. What are you talking about?
Maybe we should find a place to lay low for a little bit, and maybe once the initial wave of things pass, we might be able to escape.
Have you seen how many of them there are? Kelwin is gonna look behind him again now that they've kind of gotten some distance with the wagon. Does it look like they are heading in our direction? Does the horde look like it's going in a particular direction, or is it just...
You've put enough distance between you and the horde in a short period of time that you can't even see them anymore. What you do see is this building here. You would gather it to be like a town hall or a government building. I see there. There seem to be a number of people being ushered in there to safety. It seems like it's probably the sturdiest building, maybe definitely in the vicinity, possibly in the town. It's a big stone building.
I will point that out to the others and be like, do you guys want to go in there, or we got to get out of here, right?
Anywhere that we can fortify some kind of defense, I think would be best.
Okay, fine. Let's go there. This is a hellscape. We're gonna die. So let's just go.
Alistair, smiling up, and I'm in my own world right now. I'm smiling. I'm thinking, okay, we're safe. We're safe. Okay, it's good.
So you spend 15 minutes, 10 minutes. Well, I don't know. You spend like a good chunk of time just piling clothes in front of this door because it's all you can come up with.
Yeah, boxes, cardboard boxes.
Yeah, yeah.
Crates.
And you get it about waist height, and the door opens the other way.
Oh, fuck.
And it's this woman, and she's like, Melly, who the fuck are you? Get away from my daughter!
Well, do you see? I'm. Where were you? I'm just trying to save myself from this terrible scenario.
Flying by you.
What the fuck?
I
take out my crossbow. I have now. And I say, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. We need to close the fucking door, first of all. There's fucking maniacs out there killing people.
Give me, just passive perception, you can hear glass breaking in the front of the building.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I'm gonna.
And she's like, Melanie, come here, get away from the maniac.
I said, the maniac.
Come to
I
mommy.
tell you, the fucking maniac is you for leaving a child here alone in this to get massacred in a clothing store. This is a lovely vest, by the way. I really do love it. And I said, and I'm gonna take it, and I run past her out the door.
God damn.
Make a dex check.
Or
Or acrobatics. Give me an acrobatics check.
Acrobatics, slightly better. Oh, nope. 7.
Yeah, you just knock her. Like, you try to kind of squeeze between her and the door, but you just shoulder check her and just knock her right on her ass.
You know what? Good enough.
Oh, yeah. All right. So you're out in the world again. Congratulations.
All right. I'm going to run down to the store over here.
All right. I mean, so yeah, like.
Do I see? Do I see this giant building over here?
Which one is that?
The big stone building.
Yeah, I mean, like, even from all that distance, I mean, that's like a good chunk of ways away from you.
Okay.
It's easily the biggest building in the town, and you would have noticed it coming in.
What's in between me and that?
There's like a light forest. I mean, like, as far as towns go,
But
there's
I'm
like
talking about like just like
yeah.
I mean, just like, is there undead? Are there people? Are there?
Oh yeah, no, I mean, like, in any direction you go, there's gonna be undead and people.
Yep. Then I'm gonna stop at this house right over this store over here and try this.
Well, I should so it's like, well, actually, make an intelligence check.
All right. 13.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
I don't know
All
why
right,
it has
so-
2. Hold on. It should just be 12. I don't know what that +1 is for.
That's okay. The DC was 10, so you're fine. So you can kind of look around, and there are just a lot of like dead people attacking other people, but there are many more people. So it's like the I don't know, 1 to 5 ratio you can see.
Real people
but you
to
can
dead people.
recognize real people to dead people. So it's like it's all the dead seem to be kind of preoccupied right now.
So what I would like to do then is make my way toward that big building by like running directly behind somebody else, and then if an undead comes near, move out of the way and hide behind somebody else. and then I'll slightly just nudge them toward the dead guy.
Give me a dex check. Well, make a stealth check first.
All right. Stealth is a 20.
Oh yeah, you just seamlessly just transition to like it's like you don't even have to push anybody. You just follow someone until they start to get eaten, and you just like find a new blocker.
All right, that's all I need. Yeah, okay.
And when you get like in sight of that building, same as everybody else, you can see that everyone's being ushered in, and there's like city guard and this kind of like a beacon, like this just like beacon of, how do I put it? You see this man, and you can tell that immediately tell that he is more than those around him. He's not a face in the crowd. Like high quality armor on, and he stands out. And so you make it into the building, and are reunited with your friends, who I'm sure you were really worried about, and they were really worried about you.
Yeah, I don't mention that I forgot all about them during this ordeal.
Yikes.
Say, oh, it's a pleasure to see you again. I'm glad you're all safe. What happened to Nancy? I haven't seen her in a while.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't need to bring it up again. I was making idle conversation. I don't really care.
I kind of figured.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take our second break here and come back and go for the third stretch.
What did I walk into?
Fucking shit show.
Yeah.
Halloween.
Literally.
Do you guys have me back?
Yeah, I mean your
Okay.
picture's frozen, but we can hear you.
Okay.
No, I can see him moving.
Oh, really? I can't. And that's the important thing, because then therefore no one else can.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're gonna take a break and hope it all works itself out. Thank you, Skype. If you'd like to be a sponsor, we'd love to have you.
Give us direct connection.
And we're back.
Hello, everybody. All right. So you all make it safely into, we'll call it the town hall. Each of you, as you go in, would have noticed that the person who is, I mean, there's a couple guards out there, but the one who stands out, who is like actively like getting everyone in, is very different looking. Everyone give me a history check.
Oh, I'm not bad at history. 22.
Wow. That
Nice.
is pretty damn good.
That's one of my specialties.
River, you're not sure, but Kelwin and Alistair are both pretty sure this is a Gith. Which, as far as you know, is a race that went extinct like thousands of years ago.
And this is the guard? The guy standing in front, or
No,
whatever he
so
is?
there's like city guards. This guy, he's in armor.
Well, he's like the
but
big guy we saw when we saw when we were coming in.
He is. He is the big guy. Yeah. So
Okay.
like he's with town guard, but he's not in the same armor as them, and he seems to be like have some sort of leadership role, it would seem, but who knows if that's he could have just stepped up, you know. But yeah, it's a Gith. And yeah, so there's a lot of mystery about that's not like it was some big thing and they had like a war with elves and lost. It's just like they just kind of disappeared and no one's really sure. And you're not 100% certain because, you know, it's like you've seen pictures, you've read, and but that it seems fitting. That's what makes sense.
Kellen immediately starts observing him and sketching his appearance and taking notes about his behavior. Like, fascinating. Maybe he knows something about the outsiders. And he will just kind of like silently observe for a while.
All right.
Maybe he keeps the
I'm
information in
gonna
his
try to
shoes.
make my way over to him if possible.
Sure. Yeah, no, he's just right outside the front, and
I say, pardon me, sir. I see you're a little busy here, and I appreciate all your help. You have any idea what's going on? Because what I was told was going to be a great festival has turned into a fucking shit show.
so he turns, and it's only like a split second, but you can immediately tell that he's about to give you one of those like politely annoyed things, you know, where he's like, "Sir, it's go," and then he kind of does this double take, and he looks at you, and he goes, "Soon, I will be in. I will explain everything very soon."
And I say, between you and I, you're a Gith, aren't you?
He just kind of like gives you like a subtle, like almost like a wink, like.
I say, well, I'm gonna head back inside, but it's a pleasure to meet you. It's fascinating stuff. See, I'm gonna head in now. I'm gonna go, and then I wander in.
All right. So it's not too much longer, and you're not really sure like what, but the guards come in and they shut the doors and they barricade. And this building has windows, but it's almost kind of like a church where it's like these big kind of ornamental windows, but they don't start like they're probably like 12 feet up, So there's not really the same danger. Like someone could break in, but like it's safe from undead. You know what I mean? You got like a solid wall of stone at ground level. And so he goes and he kind of the guards come in and they start kind of tending to everybody. And there's some people who are wounded, and they're tending to the sick, and they're just making sure that everyone is okay. And he does the same thing. And after a couple minutes, he comes to you, Alistair, and you can tell he's looking for someone else, and you're not sure who. But then he picks each of you out on your own without you saying anything or giving him any indication that you're together. And he goes, "You four, please come with me. We must speak."
All right.
Yeah.
I wasn't watching you or anything.
It is.
You gotta keep your wits about you there, Kelvin. We're in the middle of some sort of undead apocalypse. This is no time to be lost in thought or drawing within your book.
This is important. He's a guest.
So is fucking surviving, lad.
Surviving is quite important.
Yeah.
Not just for you, but for everyone. This has gone on too long. It must end. And he leads you into, there's like a little there's a number of rooms. And first, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Brother Nemeth. Now tell me, what do you know of the gods? And we're going to fill that in because I know everything.
Yeah, I've read a bit.
Yeah. So most people believe that there are 12 gods, right? And there are, countless others, but that's I must tell you, there are only two. There are only two that matter. There is the mother, and there is the father. And when he says mother, you would immediately know that there is Herona, who is like just the goddess of like life and everything good, and she is commonly referred to as the mother. And Herona, when this world began, there was Herona. She was the sun, and she gives life to everything, to the plants and the birds and you and me and the grass, and nothing can live without Herona. And it was fine for a time, but then came the moon. The Sacrus. Sacrus is the moon, and he brought meaning to life. One day that goes on forever means nothing. He created time. He created death. He created meaning. And a life eternal is meaningless. Knowing that you will die someday, that's what gives your life meaning. Consequences give life meaning. Prices. If you could have everything you ever wanted at the snap of your fingers, you would be miserable. You have to work for things for them to mean something. This is Sacrus. Sacrus he is my god. He is a fair god. And this would be atypical from the description you typically hear of Sacrus. He is the god of death, from what you understand, but it's more the grim, god of death. It's the god of death.
He's a bad guy.
Yeah, he's death, you know. But he presents it in a way that like it's kind of hard to like. Yeah, I guess logically that all makes sense. Like everyone lived forever. What would be the point? And
I could make an argument,
but it's like, yeah, whether or not it's for you, there is like there's something to it. Death gives life meaning, and he says for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction.
Oh God.
I know. I wish yeah, but everything has a price. Anything you ever do will set off some sort of chain, and there is always consequences.
I flick Kelvin in the back of the head.
Just to see what that for?
I'm just experimenting, doing a little experimentation.
It will come back. What people don't understand about Socrates is he is the god of death, but he is the god of birth. He is really just the god of time, of balance. I don't know what this is in balance of, but this is someone has done something, and this is the equal and opposite reaction.
So wait, Socrates is responsible for all these fucking undead?
In a way.
Yeah, that's not good, man.
The witch, the hag, she has tapped into Socrates, and she is doing this, but she is channeling his power, if you will.
Yeah, but she wasn't talking about Socrates. She said something about Quorum.
Who the hell is that?
Everyone, make a Constitution save.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Boy,
not good. 14.
All right, so you fail. River, you fail. Tajit, you fail. Let's see.
He gonna blast us. He's like crap.
So each of you, when Kelvin says quorum, it's that same jarbled, guttural, infernal sound that you heard before, and Nemeth as well. You all clutch your head and you take a point of psychic damage.
What the hell is wrong with you guys?
What's wrong with us?
I was just repeating what she said.
Don't fucking say it again, because it fucking hurt
Oh.
my head just like it did when the witch said it.
You heard the name.
Of course I heard the name. She said his name. She was
Well,
like,
yeah,
it's
all
in
we
my
heard
God's
was a
name.
garbled bunch
Wait.
of nonsense.
Don't say it again. Most cannot hear. I am impressed.
Oh, that's great. That's great and dandy for us. I mean, do you want me to write it down? Would it be useful for us to talk about this? Or is it going to like burn their eyes?
No, please don't.
It's just a name. It's just. I'm gonna say it again.
Well,
Yeah, you haven't heard it.
You can't, yeah.
So it's like
I haven't heard
from
it.
you hear. It's just nothing, and it hurts.
Oh, okay.
So. The hack.
you're breaking up a
Yeah,
little
you're
bit.
breaking up.
beings.
You're breaking up. Hold on, repeat that.
Hold on, let me make sure my. So these, yeah, I know, right? She is tapping into Socrates' power, but these beings are not. They're not of Socrates. She is channeling them to bring other things from somewhere else. I must admit I don't understand all the details, but this has happened before many times.
So who was this bloke that Kelvin was talking about?
That is, I don't know. It's very serious, very high level. The very utterance of his name, it hurts. It's not important right now, though. What is important is the hag. She is.
I mean, I think it's kind of important.
It is important. It is not important right now. It's if your house was on fire and you were hungry, it is, of course, important to eat, but your house is on fire. You understand?
I guess. Okay, fine.
Right, so the most important thing to do in that situation is to get the fuck out of there.
Agreed.
Yeah, so we tried to get to the outside, and there was a magical barrier that corresponded to the lights.
Yes, it's part of the spell. It will dissipate when the sun rises.
That's all we have to do is wait it out in here, then.
Do you know who you are? Do you understand what has happened to you?
Well, of course. My name is Alistair Grant. I'm a musician and a entertainer of quiet summer nights.
He looks to River now. He goes, River. Or he doesn't know your name. Sorry. He goes, you. Do you understand? Do you understand what has happened to you?
It's not quite easy to understand exactly.
You've received the blessing. Perhaps the greatest of all blessings. You've received the blessing of Oswin, and you are chosen.
Yes, I was exactly thinking this is what had happened, but I was not sure. Is there something that you can see? Do you see it on me?
I can. Yes. You emit destiny. It's coming off you. Very strong.
I thought I saw a flea on him once, but that was about it.
I'm just going to completely ignore and talk over Alistair. Then we are destined. Then we are destined to carry out.
I am the only one out of everyone here tonight. I am the only one who came here knowing what would happen. And I came here to find you. This cycle has been going on for millennia. This hag, this witch, this evil, vile creature has repeated this process countless times. And you can hide, and maybe you'll make it till dawn, and you can leave. But this will happen again, and it will happen again.
Why haven't we heard about it before, though? I haven't read anything about this in the history books.
There are many, many things that you will not read about in history books.
Well, I mean, I've heard stories.
Oh, I know that!
I've heard stories, but I didn't think any of them were true, you know? I mean, there's, you come along and there's, funny stories and dramas and horror stories and stuff, but this seems a bit out of our league.
It is not. You.
No, I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure it is. I don't think you know.
I will help you. You can kill the hag. If the hag dies, this will end. Right now, she is undefeatable. She, in her own right, is a very powerful creature. But right now, she is channeling power from the false god.
Seems like a pretty real god to me.
There is a difference between power and gods. You will understand one day. It is okay.
I want to step up from the background and I'll be like, if we kill this hag, we'll be able.
Sorry, you cut out there. If we kill this hag.
Oh man.
Oh, we lost him.
Oh
no. Skype, if you'd like to be a sponsor.
No,
we would like to know what Patrick just said. That's your only way in at this point.
I'll give him a second to.
All right, my lord.
Oh, there you go.
I hear you back. All right. So everything after you step up and say, "If we kill this hag."
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, if we kill this hag, I'm gonna have my fingers, put together and sort of just thinking, trying to control myself, and I'm gonna look up at him with a very serious look. Can we help Denalsi? I'm gonna look at River because you tried to kill her.
Wait, you tried to kill Denalcy?
I mean, she was going off a little bit.
She was eating.
And I mean, I know sometimes she's a bit abrasive, but I don't think that's any reason to kill her.
No, it was more than that.
Yeah. If she was biting your head off, would you like me to try to attack her? Or leave
I mean,
you
are you talking figuratively or literally? Because there's two very different things. She's bit my head off figuratively many a time.
Can we help her? Please.
I'm sorry, I don't know who Denalcy is.
You have to know. I'm gonna grab him by his shoulders.
Okay, buddy. Let's take it down one notch.
He stays completely calm, and he puts his hand on your hand on his shoulder, and he goes, "Who is Denalcy? She's important to you. What has happened to her?"
She turned into that thing. And I don't know if I can minor illusion that, like a still image of what she turned into.
Totally, yeah. And he looks at it very gravely, and he looks back at you, and he shakes his head. He says, "I'm sorry, your friend is gone. She is the beast."
What the fuck does that mean?
Every time this happens, there are always four. There's always the same four. There is the beast. There is the neighbor. There is the reaper. And there is the shell. They're not always the same, but they're always who they are. Your friend has been taken over by the beast.
Taken over? What do you mean? How do I get her back?
He has stolen her body, and she's as dead as if she laid before you. When it is finished with her, she will be used up and gone. Whether she survives the night or not, that vessel is all that is. I'm sorry, she's dead. But it is not too late for countless others. These beings, they are almost invulnerable, but they can be killed. And with each one you destroy, you take power from the hag. And if you can kill all four, she will be mortal once again, and you could end this. I was brought here because I knew the signs foretell that this could be the end, and it is up to you.
So you're telling me that every time the cycle happens, some people are chosen, and they always happen to succeed?
No.
Then why haven't we been overrun by zombies before? Or why isn't everything gone?
It's a spell. So the zombies, as you call them, that is the neighbor. The neighbor comes during the harvest moon when the spell is performed. When the sun rises, the spell will be gone. Everyone who's dead will be dead, but there will be no more. The beast will go. The zombies will go. The hag will live. She will leave, and she will bask in the glory of what she deems this to be for centuries, and then she will do it again.
Yeah, I'm still not sure that's our problem, but okay.
He kind of he shakes his head at you like a disappointed parent almost.
What was the fourth? There was the beast, neighbor, friend.
Beast, neighbor, reaper, and shell.
Oh, okay. Reaper. Now we have to, you're saying, defeat each of these in order to defeat the witch.
You weaken her.
I mean, how are we even gonna find them?
Well, we know one. And they're all trapped here within this dome, this magical dome, you say.
Oh, we're gonna do this right now with all the hordes of undead outside? I don't think so. There's no way we're gonna make it to them.
The hordes of undead, that's the neighbor. The neighbor is tricky. The rest inhabit one body. The neighbor is a disease.
That doesn't really inspire me with any more confidence, but...
You can do this. I believe in you.
Oh, good. One crazy gift who worships the god of death believes in me. That makes me feel really good.
I am not crazy. I understand your fear. I understand your skepticism. But at some point, and he kind of looks at you for a second, Kelwin, you must rise to the occasion, or you will die. You've been chosen for greatness, my friend. Accept it or perish.
Oh, no, I'm not going to let her kill another one of my friends. And I look back at Kelvin. You have to come with us, Kelvin.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think I have a choice in the matter. I mean, we're... okay, let's do this, I guess. I mean, you have some information or some magical, godly, divine power, I assume you can give to us or something? Because I don't think we're going to be able to deal with these guys just how we are.
I do. And he reaches out into your hand and he places a copper piece. He goes, when you just listen to it, it'll tell you which way to go. Now, for the 4, there are 4 entities, just as there are 4. And then as he says it, there is this loud crash from outside. And he runs to the door. And you guys, do you follow him or you like... You can hear it's chaos. Like with any bit of info, you can gather that the doors have been broken down and shit is getting hairy. And
yeah, definitely follow him.
Yeah, and so he immediately starts rushing out to help people and try to usher them, out the back door. And it's just zombies. It's like a pure like that whole thing where just hundreds of people just walking against the door. Did you guys ever see the Mythbusters where they did the Walking Dead thing to see if they could break down the barn door? That shit's I was shocked. Like you get 200 people just walking against a door that's like barricaded and that shit will break. It's crazy. Fun fact. But yeah, that's essentially what happened, and it's just flooding in, and people are dying and and it's just chaos going out the back door, and people throwing shit through the windows and trying to climb out that, and he kind of gets swept up into the crowd. Says there are 4 of these, just as there are 4.
Oh, great!
Yeah, they are not from this world, so you must use this world to destroy. And he's gone.
All right, well, which one of us is going to take the zombies? And I run toward the back.
Oh, shit, sorry. He goes, that was a big line I forgot. The first thing he says before it gets all garbled, he goes, you can find me in the tower. And then it's there are 4 of them, then it's the rest of it. And now, it's escape for your lives.
Yeah.
Escape or die.
Heading toward the back door.
Yeah, Kelvin is running, dropped an illusion of a stone where he was, and just went for it.
All right, so we're actually going to go...
this is hell. This is hell.
So there are zombies fucking everywhere. So what we're going to do is we're going to treat this as abridged combat. And...
Good, because there's not going to be any combat.
No, this will get carried over into next week. All right, so you guys are all just flooding out. Alistair, you said it first, so you go running out. What's your... oh, it doesn't matter. So there's a zombie as soon as you come out, tries to just kind of scratch at you. And he tries to grab you. And he tries to clutch onto you, and you're able to wrench free. And there's another one right there. Do you keep running, or what do you do?
I keep running. I try to if he's blocking my path, just try to sort of barrel past him, similarly to the woman that was standing at that door.
Yeah, so it's they're kind of behind you, but as you run away, he gets a swipe at you, and you feel this claw scratch just down the back of your neck, and you take 1 point of damage.
Okay.
Tajit, what's up?
I'm gonna continue following behind him. I'll be waving my arms as I'm running away. This was not a good idea!
Yeah, same thing. They kind of clutch at you as you run past, but you're able to just follow in Alistair's wake, and you let him kind of take the aggression. River.
I am going to try and carve a path for... Is everyone just running in front of me, or?
It's you and Kelwin now at this point. Alistair bolted and Tajit was with him, and it's the two of you are kind of it's only been a second, but yeah, you're...
Yeah, I definitely want to make a path for us out, but I want to carve a path so we can both get out safely, kind of interposing myself between any zombies and Kelwin so we can get out of there.
Okay. So you take 2 swipes, and it's just chest and absolutely no impact.
Okay.
And Kelwin.
I mean, I'm running.
Okay. Disengage or anything, or you're just running, double move?
I mean, how many zombies are around me?
So as you come out, without mechanically understanding attacks of opportunity, you see 3 zombies. You don't know that some of them have used their reactions already, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably try to dance around them,
okay,
because it doesn't make sense not to.
Okay, yeah. So you're able to, Alistair and Tajit have kind of put some distance between you, but you're able to just kind of stay low, and kind of avoid their attention, and you move out as well. And all right, that's for the sake of you guys are able to get to the back door, but there's essentially the doors open inward, and there's just this the first people who hit it are trying to open it, and then more people come into them, and there's just all these people funneling down this hallway, scared for their lives. Essentially screwing themselves over because it's they're barricading the door shut from within against themselves.
Okay.
I'll yell, "It opens inward, you fucks! Get back up a step!"
All right.
And I'm gonna try to
as
sort of push through the crowd.
People against the door are trying to push back against the the people it's one of those they'll hit and they'll grasp the situation and they'll try to back up, but they're being counteracted by the people who are now hitting and don't yet grasp the situation.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to just pull people back. All
right, an athletics check.
4.
You're trying. You're not moving anybody.
Yeah.
So now, Kelwin and River, you're kind of towards the back of this group, and you can see that the dead are closing in.
Well, I'll definitely try to go and assist, because I see everybody is trying to get out of these doors, right?
Kind of. Well, actually, no. Give me a perception. Let's find out.
A 5.
Yeah, no. You see a bunch of people, and you're not sure what the holdup is, but there's it was like that 4 or 5 seconds that Alistair and Tajik got there before you. There's like 30 more people between you now, and you can't, like, they're close enough to the door to see what's going on. You just see a traffic jam for some reason.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna turn around and try to, as undead come, I'm gonna try to just attack them to, you know, if it looks like we're just stuck and we just need to defend ourselves, I'm gonna start defending.
Yep. So this time, without really trying to, you end up like right across the head, you know, just like cut it in half essentially. Mm-hmm. And that thing drops like a sack of potatoes. And you're like, And so the next one just boom, down into the noggin, again, down. Kelvin, you're right with him, and you saw this. You can give me a perception to see if you get what's going on with the door. Yours with advantage because you're a little bit closer.
Nope.
No, it's just too many people. Yeah. But you did see what's going on with the river.
Okay. I'll help River out, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll shoot a firebolt at one of the zombies.
Yep. Right between the eyes, down it goes.
Oh God. So gross.
Yeah, so that's just, and there's like other people fighting too, so now there's this like almost like little knee wall of just corpses that are just getting dropped, and it's like now that you see once you understand how they work, they kind of drop pretty easy, and you can just watch. They're just like, you can see like the guards are kind of holding them off with their gauntlets, and just they have their short swords, and it's just thump, thump, and there's enough like there's the wave of people that's kind of stopped, and people are backed up a little bit where finally the doors are able to get open, and you guys just pour outside.
This is the worst day I have ever had, guys.
Of all the days.
I mean, it's
all
definitely
the days in my
top
life.
5 worst for me.
You got 4 stories we need to hear.
Yeah.
All right. So let me mark off there. And so as you pour out, let's see your new map. This is now what the town looks like. Everybody see that?
Yeah. Man, those zombies.
Yeah, there's a lot of zombies.
There's a lot.
I mean, granted, you don't see the whole town in one breath, but like it's much worse.
You see enough.
Yeah. And I think that's probably a good place to stop for the evening. We can this week.
Okay.
Well, that was an unexpected twist to a fun festival.
Fun, they said it would be.
I had something entirely different planned, and I just had to come up with this in the top of my head.
Nice job.
Map and everything, and all the zombies. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that, but you did well, and it turned out to be a fun diversion.
Fun, they said.
See, that's why you didn't have to worry about all that planning.
That's true. If I could do the whole thing, theater of the mind, I could totally improv a campaign. It's the fuck maps, man.
It'll be fun, they said. You'll have a good time, they said.
Yeah, let's go to the sell some swords.
Yeah, we literally
sell?
We literally didn't even get to see we got there and then there was a horde of zombies. It was very much like there was no downtime or
not even one funnel cake was consumed.
Not a single funnel cake.
To be fair, that's your late ass fault. There was going to be some downtime, and it's like, well, it's fucking 11 o'clock. Let's get this shit going.
All right. Fair enough.
There was a whole hour. I had allotted 60 minutes of fun and fancy-free bullshit.
I wanted there to be a point where they had one of those Hammer games, right? and all the strong people go up and they fail, and then Tajik comes, the little sickly guy, and he gets a natural 20.
You know, your life's not over. There'll be other festivals, maybe.
I don't know that we want to
go
to them,
yeah, we're not going to any other festivals.
We've had such a bad experience here. I mean, this is going to be reflected in their Yelp review.
Oh, yeah, we gotta write them a back review.
Well, there you go, gentlemen.
All right, cool.
All
well,
right.
Thanks everybody for watching and bearing with us on our few-week hiatus.
Yeah. Was it? I like that 3 weeks and 1 hour. That was good. Late start, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. I know they certainly didn't. So if you didn't, then what's the point? I guess I did. It was fun for me.
That's really the point. As long as you're enjoying yourself,
right?
I thought it was fun.
Yeah, I had fun.
Catch us next week at 9 p.m. Probably.
Hopefully
on twitch.tv and catch Return to the Bandit Kingdoms on Tuesday nights at 9.
See what Silverwolf's going to get up to.
Yeah. Or Raleigh/Morgan.
That's right.
The rest of them.
Raleigh/Morgan? That would be a good episode.
That would be, yeah. Now there's a Halloween episode for you.
Yeah, right? I had something entirely different planned, and I was like, fuck, man, it's Halloween. Zombies, witches, and you don't even know. You'll see the rest of it.
Yeah.
We haven't, you guys have only seen, what, 2.5 out of the 4?
Probably.
So I figure the werewolf is the beast. And
we got a werewolf,
zombies.
we got these zombies,
right?
We got a witch.
The Reaper,
but she's not one of the 4, right?
That's right. She's not one of the 4. What about the Michael Myers dude that I got? Is that the Reaper?
Yeah, thank you for picking up on that. I was trying to. I don't want to be too overt. Yeah.
What was the other?
It's Reaper. Who knows?
So anyway, tune in next week.
Everything will be answered.
And find out and watch us die horribly.
You're probably going to be fine, maybe. I don't know.
As Halloween extends well into November.
Yeah, exactly. That some people like to start Christmas early. I like to end Halloween late.
You know what? I'll take that, actually.
You put the Christmas tree up the day after Thanksgiving. I take my Halloween decorations down February 23rd.
Can I tell you, there was one year we had what I called Express Christmas, which I didn't get our tree up until like 4:30 on Christmas Eve, like right before dinner. And then by 11 a.m. on the 26th, that tree was down and out on the curb. My daughter was around 2.5 at the time. She comes upstairs from the basement where we had a playroom. Like, what happened to the Christmas tree? I'm like, Christmas is over. Enjoy your presents. Express Christmas, like 36 hours tops. It was great.
My wife is one of those. November 1st is the beginning of Christmas season. She's got her fucking extensive Christmas village. She's been, putting up slowly over the past couple of days. And I mean, I don't care. There's people I like, but it's been 2 solid months, man. They were watching Santa Claus when I got home from work today.
The more I put up, the more I have to take down. And I'm pretty lazy.
Yep. And she says it every year. It's like so much fun taking it up, and then because she'll put it up slowly, So it's like, I'll do these 2 pieces today, and that's fun. But it's like when you take it down, it's just like a solid day of fucking work, and I have to put them back up on the shelves. That's the one thing is she boxes them up, I got to put them back up on the shelves. But I don't have to decorate shit, so it's a small price to pay. I get a nice Christmassy house or whatever, and I don't do anything.
There you go. I like a clean house, no obstructions, no stuff.
Right? I keep trying to get my family to throw away all their stuff because they have so much fucking stuff. And they don't. I'm just like, everything I have, I could fit into like a, 5-foot square. It's such a simpler life.
Can you fit into a 5-foot square?
On top of the stuff, probably.
We'll see. I'm going to do some more Chinese food, and we'll see what happens.
There the 5 rules I can occupy. Anyways, I'm going to go to bed, guys. You guys have a good night.
Yep, good night, everybody. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Next week. Bye.